Heads! This week's challenge is the two-touch challenge. To the left of me, we have the fan. You nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
And to the right of me, we have the influencers.
Oh!
And they're going up against me, the host.
We're going again, yeah?
So how'd you feel?
Hi and welcome to the AFTV Daily News Show with myself, Cecil G, and I've got James B next to me. We're at the studio, nice and early for this show today, so nothing from home today. We're here, we're in the amazing studio. We've got the little props here. Come on, Gunnosaurus, big up Gunnosaurus.
You got some Christmas presents there.
Got some, those presents that unfortunately I can't open, but yes, we are here and we're going to be discussing yesterday's game. I don't know if you guys saw it, but we'll be breaking it down and what we took from it, I guess, and what we enjoyed. And well, I've been a big Balogun fan from, or as Charlene would say, Balogun. Oh, that's ridiculous. Balogun. But yeah, so I've been a big Balogun fan. We'll get into that and we'll have a talking debate about, well, is he right to be starting or playing or even in the squad? Is he challenging for that first team spot as a striker? It's a big ask, but it'd be nice to hear what you guys think after yesterday. So yeah, big up. Everyone in the comments. I didn't actually get time to look through the comments before we started. See if I can pick one out. Please, let's go. Let's try this one. I didn't even read it yet. Juden Douglas, sorry, I normally read before, but we just got in here real quick. Please, let's all back the manager now through good and bad. The fan base on AFTV is too thick. Oh, picked the wrong comment to start with. Gunshot to me.
What an opener.
Liverpool fans gave Klopp a chance through the good and the bad. Now, I don't know how you can say, the thing is, the AFTV fan base, or fans, there's so many different spectrums of opinion here.
AFTV is not one opinion. AFTV represents the opinion of all fans.
Exactly.
Everyone gets their say. So
I don't know about fickle, because we're both Arteta in, so, and we back the manager, and well, I definitely do, especially, I say give him till January, let him have his window, and then judge him after that. By that time, we can decide if he should go or not. So I don't know about fickle.
I'm Arteta in, but it never got this bad for Klopp.
Yeah, okay.
So that's also worth pointing out. But yeah, I agree with the premise though that we should all back the manager and stick through him at this point. So yeah, let's see. What else we got?
I just want to see what River Wild says. I've just paid £7 for a great looking soundboard, clapping tracks, annoying horns, the lot. Thanks for the idea, Cecil. Hopefully this finally gets the Listen, the soundboards are the best to annoy everyone. Yeah, good man. I like that. Cool. I love that. Mine is not with me today because I'm at the studio. I didn't actually pack it, but it's fine. It'll be back. What day does it say? It'll be back tomorrow.
Where's this going?
Yeah, where is this going? But I like it. Oh wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, cool. So let's.
Sorry, this did.
Breaking news: Bellerin is. It's annoying though, because he didn't play yesterday. It's annoying that he didn't. I know people obviously didn't want him to play. I don't think he should be. I think he should be dropped. But being dropped means he should have played yesterday. And I told you guys, he should have been there practicing his throw-ins.
Well, Arteta said in the press conference that they've submitted evidence of other players also throwing in the same way and not getting punished for it.
Did we get a foul throw yesterday though? I'm sure Wales won or not.
I think there
was one.
There might have been one.
I'm sure because the commentator said that it's a foul throw. They're keeping they're hot on it. So yeah,
mental, isn't it? It is mental.
We'll move on after this last one. EFTV media. We'll get into this later anyway. So what's your thoughts on Aziz? I think he's better than Xhaka. Now, I mean, it's hard to judge a player straight away. Xhaka's had a long, lengthy career. He's played internationally, and yeah, Aziz is just young. It's the Europa League. However, from what I saw yesterday, boy, he's my type of player. That's that. I would want him in my starting 11. I don't know if you guys. I'm a lover of football. I think I say this quite a lot. I'm a lover of technical ability. Like that's why I loved Ozil. I love the greats. I like the little intricate things. How you touch the ball. Yeah. Where you take your touch.
Yeah. How you turn.
All of that. And there was one moment when he was like on the edge of our box and he literally dropped a shoulder and left two players. So I'm a big fan of Aziz.
He oozed class, didn't he?
Yeah, and he looks comfortable.
And, I appreciate the opposition, but he just looked very accomplished already. He did not look any worse than anyone else on the pitch. In fact, looked significantly better than a few. So
yeah, he's very aware of his surroundings and he moves the ball forward instead of just sideways.
Absolutely.
we should.
While you take that super chat, I'm noticing Gunnosaurus is bloody distressed behind me.
He's fallen.
I've just noticed.
They're screaming behind us. Okay, James, here you go. Just pronounce the super chat's name, please.
Ayathuduka Gumedi. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you very much for that super chat. He says, honestly, Arteta needs to define his midfield 100%. Without Xhaka and Ceballos playing more forward, the wingers need to play more inside instead. Yeah, but then that contradicts what I think Arteta is going for. He wants the wide players to get crosses in the box, as we can clearly see. Don't get me wrong, I don't believe it's working, but them playing as inside forward, shall we say, they don't do enough to do that either, because they don't break the. They're not. I don't think they're good enough to even play inside forwards and create the runs in as a Liverpool, a Mane and a Salah say. We haven't got the players for that either.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because like Nelson and Pepe are that kind of inside forward. That they can play that kind of way, but then at the same time, they're not really doing it right now. Nelson's hit and miss. He looked all right in the Europa League. Pepe looked all right in the Europa League, but I thought he struggled yesterday, and we'll chat about him, I think. I thought he really struggled. But then Saka and Willian, who played wide against Spurs, they to me are more like Saka can play that kind of inside forward, but they played more as like wide number 10s.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a difficult one. But yeah, I understand the first one. Honestly, Arteta needs to define his midfield. He's right. He needs to make a decision. What does he want his midfield to be? Does he want two holding midfielders and a number 10? Does he want Partey as the lone holding midfielder with two others alongside him who have more creative freedom? Yes, it's going to be interesting to see. I think after January we're going to know more of that. When hopefully he gets some players.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's now move on to what we picked up yesterday. I'm about to get the stats up as well.
There's some interesting ones here, just sort of from Opta. I'll read a couple of the best ones. Arsenal are unbeaten in 9 major European away games. That's 7 wins and 2 draws. The Gunners' longest ever streak without defeat on the road. I mean, that is good. We've seen that it's not easy to keep winning on the road. And I know it's in Europa League ties, but that's still not easy. I think that goes back to the Olympiacos match last year where we won away from home. Won't speak about what happened at home. That's impressive. It's nothing to, sing songs about, sing from the rooftop about, but it's good. It's a solid. It shows a solid consistency in this competition.
Okay, agreed.
Arsenal have won 6 consecutive major European matches for the first time since November 2005. That's good. We went on to the final of the Champions League that year. Any other interesting ones? There's one here. All 3 of Mohamed El Neni's goals for Arsenal have been scored in European competition. Oh, interesting. He's never scored in. So we scored 1 in the Champions League, 2 in the Europa League, and 2 of those strikes came from outside the box. When we signed El Neni, a lot of the things that he was credited for was having a really good strike and being able to get into Europa stats. I know, but what do you want me to do? We're meant to look back at it.
That's what we have to do.
When we signed El Neni, he supposedly came with the same reputation as Xhaka. That had a really good strike from outside the area. We've not seen too much of it, but a few little glimpses. What did you make of El Neni yesterday? Do you think he should start on Sunday?
See, I just had a comment there about that actually. I'm gonna quickly pop it up. So yeah, here. Jemime Edda, thank you very much. I'll give my opinion as well. I believe in the process. Meanwhile, El Neni should always be our starting lineup. He has his passion, 100% focus. Good one, guys. Now, it's a difficult one for me. Let me go straight to his stats. But it's a difficult one for me because, yes, don't get me wrong, the goal was exceptional. He played well. He didn't play bad at all yesterday. But when I last saw him in a Premier League game, it wasn't when he was next to Partey and it was all solid. It was the game after that. He wasn't as comfortable as he was. I forgot who we played, but he won. Yeah.
So do you know what? He played very well at Man United. Then him and
someone else
Partey against Villa.
They got run around. They got run around.
He did, yeah.
So, but now, who is that down to? I can't put all the blame on Xhaka for that. But because El Neni played and in my opinion, he didn't have a good enough game. He wasn't dominant enough. He didn't want to receive the ball at all. But maybe alongside the likes of Partey, then you might see the brighter version of him. I think yesterday's competition allowed him to be more freer and obviously shoot and score and do all that. But yeah, I mean, we haven't got any other option. So El Neni right now, for me, should be starting because there's no other option. But I don't think he's at the level. I always say this to take us to be like, yeah, top 4 team. He's not a midfielder. I think, yeah, that's the guy. I think he's a great squad player in my opinion. But right now, our squad lacks depth and aren't good enough. So El Neni should be starting. That is my opinion.
Yeah. I do think first and foremost, you know, some of the goals we conceded against Spurs and Wolves came from trying to press and not pressing effectively, and them just getting around us far too quickly, finding space between defence and midfield far too easily. And El Neni, I think, will do better than Xhaka in screening those areas, 100%. Especially that Partey.
Yeah, he's more dynamic, as we always talk about. But yeah, just on that, El Neni, 1 shot, 1 goal as well. That's mad. And 1 bang was his on shot on target. But yeah, go on.
So, other things to go into with yesterday's game. I want to chat about Pepe. I want to chat about the youngsters. Guys, get your comments on how do you think Pepe did. The reason I'm asking about Pepe is I thought he struggled personally.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I don't think he played very well.
He didn't,
I think we've got, you know, he's less than a week away from being, you know, available for Premier League action again. So I would have thought that actually, that's sweet.
Sweet, isn't it? Nice little morning message.
I would have. He's watching the show. I would have thought that Pepe would have shone in that game over the other two. Really, that's the one. You know, you've got they're bottom of the group. We've got the Premier League coming next week. But I thought he struggled, if I'm honest. I thought he was giving the ball away, not really. But then it was his bit of strength and skill that got Balogun his goal. So how did Pepe do for you? Guys, let us know in the comments. How do you think he did? I know, sorry, the super chat you might want to take as well.
Pepe as well. I'm not going to say too much Pepe because everyone will come up in the comments, Pepe agenda. So that's all the Pepe agenda. So I'm not going to say too much. But yeah, that's I do agree. Ray Miller says, what do you think about giving Chambers a shot at centre defensive mid like he excelled when he was on loan?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thanks, Ray.
Yeah, that and Louise, because I know Yardman was on about putting Louise in centre defensive mid.
Yeah, well, I think Louise maybe a few years ago, I think he's maybe lost a yard of pace and mobility, maybe. But I wouldn't mind seeing it. Chambers is a great shout. I mean, he did very well there for Fulham, player of the season. Albeit they got relegated, but he did shine. James Pepe is awful. When has he not been awful? I don't think he's awful, but he's struggled. On that Chambers thing, though, yeah, I mean, would that give Partey more license to get forward? Maybe. I just don't think he's the profile of midfielder Arteta wants. I think Arteta really is keen on, you know, real ball players, real kind of creators. And we saw Partey, even though he's a defensive midfielder, he can beat a man, he can dribble, he can make space for himself, not by knocking it past a player, you know, and playing a 1-2. He can actually physically, you know, dribble past a couple men and use a bit of skill. So I'm not sure Chambers fits the Arteta profile personally.
Read this one. Shout out Luke.
Hey boys, I'm from Australia and get up for every game at like 4 a.m. Just wondering if the loss of sleep is worth the performance. If you're, do you know what? You go first. I've got an answer.
Yeah, obviously, we're very loyal fans, and Arsenal's in our blood. So
clearly, Luke is too.
Yeah. So I would be doing the same if I was over in Australia. But I mean, the Europa League games can always be a slog. Now we're into the knockout stages. It's definitely worth it. Premier League games right now, the run we're in. I mean, it's worth waking up to watch because listen, I think right now the Premier League is just so up in the air, and you don't never know what's going to happen, but. Yeah. You also want to have a strong opinion on.
And also be there for the rough times, because when you're there for the good times, it feels so much better.
Yeah.
You know, part of what made winning the FA Cup so good back in August 1st, was that it had been such a rough season. We'd had so many disappointments. There were so many problems with the club, and we still won the FA Cup. And that's what felt so good about it, was that you think, wow, despite all that, like, and that is part of the DNA of this club. The makeup of this club is that we are trophy winners. And I know we went on that long drought, and I know we've only been winning FA Cups since, but there's a lot of clubs out there that would want to only be winning FA Cups right now. So, yeah, Luke, man, I know I've given you a slightly more deep and serious answer to what was clearly a bit of a lighthearted question, but just for any Arsenal fan out there that is losing a bit of faith, thinking, what's the point? That, you know, trust, go through the bag because it makes it good better.
Okay, so I've got the stats in front of me for Pepe now. Pep, the stats don't always. I'm just going to bring up that comment as well. I'll hide this one actually.
Cool.
Yeah. The stats don't always tell the full picture because I don't think personally. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I don't think Pepe had a great game yesterday either. However, his stats are: he made the most tackles with 3. He gained possession.
Did he?
Yeah, he gained the possession the most as well, alongside Mari. He gained it 6 times. Well, now there's more. There's more, but I'm not going off the stats. From what I saw, I still don't think it was a great game. Total duels, he had the highest amount, which was 16.
Whoa.
Fouls was 1. He was the highest in that.
You know?
It's crazy, isn't it? Pepe also had the best cross. Well, the four good crosses, so the highest amount of good crosses that led to a chance. Pepe was the highest in that, and then in attack, lastly, where is he here? Where are you, Nicolas Pepe? He got an assist. I think it's down the bottom. Yeah, he got an assist yesterday as well. So it's just like.
And was that 3 key passes? If you scroll down a little bit, key passes. Scroll down.
Oh, down here. Yeah, here he is.
3 key passes
and an assist. So
wow.
Now, like we said, I am not a stats guy. I leave that main to James. I always go off what I see, and obviously being a player, there's a lot of difference between stats and when you play. I don't think it's a Pepe agenda. I just feel what I want from Pepe, I'm just not getting. Okay, the stats may say, "Oh, yeah, you've done great," but I expect more consistency from a player of him, of his
You know what? Though,
ability.
those stats are exactly what will make Arteta happy.
Yeah, that's
he'll know he'll know you've got the talent to beat a man and make something happen and score the odd goal from outside the box and all that. What will make him happy is, did he get stuck in? Did he win the ball a lot? So, sure, I'm happy to say that I might have got that wrong. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was looking for other things and didn't notice those things he was doing really well. Because I know you're right. The naked eye tells you more than stats, I believe, but those are very impressive stats. And if he did win the ball more than any other player, and well, not if he did, he did. He made more key passes. He crossed the ball. Or he was more effective with his crossing than anyone else. That's important. So but big up Pepe. Fair enough. I might have been harsh there. I'll admit. I mean, I just on the naked eye, I wasn't overwhelmed with what he was doing. But
it's a tough one because also Eddie Nketiah has the highest stats as well in many things. And in my opinion, he didn't have the greatest of games. However, a lot of people will say, but which we're going to get onto later, I believe, between the Balogun and Eddie Nketiah debate. But people are going to have an argument for him. But I don't think he had a great game. And the stats tell me completely different. Do you know what I mean? I can break down some of them.
Scored a very good goal, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, total aerial battles, he had the highest amount. It was 3. Fouls conceded is not the greatest, but he got 2. He got the highest there. He got fouls 1 as well, joint with Pepe, the highest with 1. Eddie, nothing there with distribution. The highest with 1. I know. Eddie Nketiah, goals 1, total shots the highest 5, block shots 3. So
he's getting good areas. He's
doing the right thing as a striker. Now, the reason why I say they're good stats is if we compare them to the likes of Aubameyang and maybe Lacazette in the last games, they were fully not involved.
No, that's a good point. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I know it's different opposition. I know it's only Dundalk. Okay, so I get that. But in my opinion, again, when we compare him to Balogun, by my naked eye, Balogun had a better game. But the stats may prove different. Not this question. Sorry, I want to just quickly touch on this because I had an argument in the office. This was a massive debate yesterday. I want to get your opinion, and we're going to go into it. Saka can't finish for. I'm not going to repeat it, but that. Now we had an argument. The argument yesterday in the office was obviously I champion Saka. I think he's probably he's one of the best in the team right now. But then people say he gets into good positions and he doesn't score, and they're the best opportunities we get, and they think he's not good enough for that reason. But I think we're expecting so much from the young kid. He's obviously came from the fullback position. Yes, he started as a wide player, but he was fullback. And now he's gone into this position. He's had great chances, but I think he's been fairly judged. I know his finishing hasn't been great, but I think that's the next step for him to work on. Sterling's finishing wasn't great at one point, worked on it, and now he's where he is. What's your thoughts? Do you think he needs to be? I don't know. I
will say, thank you for the comment. SDMWKW. I'll be honest, I don't.
It's a tough one.
I'll be really honest. It's a slightly. That's really bad because thank you for tuning in. Thank you, I really appreciate it. It's a slightly pointless comment because we've just won in the Europa League. Saka's in our list of problems. Saka's not even one of them, and if he is, he's like bottom 2. So my thoughts on it are he has missed a few chances. We know the Leeds game. There was one he didn't connect with right against Wolves. I think there might have been another at some point. Yeah, I understand. However, I'm not worried about it. We saw some of the goals he scored last year, especially that one against Wolves away from home, where he sort of, do you remember, he just sort of volleyed it quite instinctively. It was a very good finish. And he thought, wow, this guy does know how to find the back of the net. But also, I think his game is getting him beyond. Of course, he's got to add goals, but he's young. He's very young. That will come with time. It took Sterling a while to be a killer in front of goal. Even now, some people still criticise his finishing sometimes.
So yeah.
So I'm not worried about it. I'm more worried about his ability to beat a man and get into dangerous areas in his movement. And he looks top notch and all that.
So I just wanted to bring that comment up because it got my back up yesterday because I was defending him to the death, and people were like, "Well, he needs to be scored." I was like, "Give the kid a break! Like, come on, we can't give him that pressure and like it takes time."
Yeah,
and
where I will be critical is he is a professional footballer, and you're thinking you should be doing better with those chances. But
he's a very young.
He's young,
and
he's raw, he's been brilliant for us. He's carried us a lot.
And due to the pressure of the way Arsenal are playing, I think he holds more pressure because we're playing so badly, which I think that's unfair. So I've been in that position, so that's the reason why I have to say on it quick. And SD, thanks for that comment. I think he's just on a negative flex this morning. Nketiah is dead, whatever his name is. I think he's just here to rant and just let out his emotions. But I've been there as well.
If that's what you need it for, if that's what you need our show for, by all means. But I can't necessarily agree.
Yeah, we can't co-sign it all the time. Right. Do you gents get frustrated as I do when, thank you again as well for your super chat, bro. I don't want to, it's hard to, I'm just going to shorten it.
AFTV, I'm going for.
My man. Do you gents get frustrated as I do when you see Willock, who's average at best, start over Maitland and Mill Smith-Rowe, obviously Maitland-Niles, Mill Smith-Rowe out, even El Neni in mid? I'd rather Guendouzi. What's you give your thoughts on that? Thank you for your super chats. I know there's more as well.
Yeah, thank you. I can't judge Willock properly while the whole midfield is dysfunctional. You know, we've not had a good midfield since Willock developed. I'm not putting that on him. I'm saying when he developed and came out of the academy, was ready for first team football. Emery had never got the midfield balance right. Never. Guendouzi, Xhaka, Torreira, Sebastian couldn't figure it out. And then you look at Arteta's come in and it improved, but he was mainly playing sort of two in central midfield, and he's not getting the balance right either. I think it's harsh to say Willock's average at best. I think he's got an eye for goal, and he's scoring with some lovely finishes. His goal against Mulder, did he score two against Mulder? No, one against Mulder, one against Dundalk. Some of those goals are really, really nice finishes. You know, they're really. Don't take anything away. I know the opposition is one thing. The finish, the goal's the same size, and what he has to do with the football is exactly the same. And I felt he took his chances well. I think he's looked good in the Europa League. I think he's done okay in the Premier League. Nothing special. He's done okay. I think he's growing stronger. So, yes, I'm frustrated. I really don't want to talk about him today. I'm more frustrated seeing Maitland-Niles, Smith-Rowe and El Neni not play because Jack is playing. Willock never failed Wenger.
Yeah, run with that.
Willock never really failed Emery either. And I'm not saying Xhaka failed them, but he was part of their failings. A big part of it. And that is not an attack on him. That is not an attack on his ability as a footballer. I've said this about 1,000 times in the last week. When people are going to talk about agendas, you know, I'll let you pin that one on me because in fairness, I've spoken about him a lot. And again, it's nothing personal. He will go to another club and succeed. Do you know what I think Jack would do really well at Atletico Madrid, where they play a low block and they need to get from defence to attack very quickly and the space? I think he'd do really well for like Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid. I think he'd look really good there. For what we want to do, what our managers have tried to do over the years, Jack has not been that right profile. So I get more frustrated when he's been given more chances over players like Willock, Smith-Rowe, Maitland-Niles, El Neni, Guendouzi, who for me fit our profile more. Sorry for the long-winded answer. I felt that was the best way to.
I was going to say that was very long, but at least you broke it down.
I felt it was the best way to give the right credit without, you know, if I'm going to criticise, I want to be able to explain why I'm being critical.
Yeah, fair.
Do you know what I mean?
Fair. I'll keep mine short and simple. Sorry, I don't want to move on. I want to move on, but sorry, and I got coffee breath this morning. Sorry, James, just in case I don't know if you smell it, and it doesn't matter. I'll keep my answer short and simple. If I'm completely honest, Willock, I don't think it's going to be he's not going to be a first-team midfielder in the next 3 years. I think he'll be a great squad player. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I think he might not even be here, but he'll be a squad player. Emile Smith-Rowe, haven't seen enough of him to give a full opinion on that. I've seen enough of him, but not to... What I'm trying to say is, in 3 years' time, or in a couple windows, the midfield's going to be Partey and 2 new creative midfielders. All the people we've mentioned won't be involved. They're not to the level that Arsenal need to be at, in my complete opinion. So it's irrelevant. I think they'll be good in the squad. They maybe get subbed on in a few years' time or a few windows' time. But I see our midfield being Partey and 2 creative midfielders that are currently not here. That's the realist. So that is my
The
opinion on
midfield
that.
balance is incredibly important. It is good to chat about it.
But like you said, the Xhaka thing frustrates me. That's the only thing as well I agree with. Raw Rugby says, big up, I know you're a regular as well. In the space of 2 months, you two boys have come to dominate my mornings. Love the chemistry you have and the genuine decent chat you have. Probably has struck gold again.
Oh, bless.
Now that is listen,
Thank
I wish
you.
I could freaking print that and put that somewhere in the studio.
Should we screenshot?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to screenshot that. Look at that. Mum, I made it. Look at that.
Big up, Raw Rugby. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
that.
man. I
That's a nice
appreciate that a
comment.
lot. It's a really lovely comment.
Someone says Saka as a kid, agreed, true. A lot of people agreeing. Chambers at right back. We'll come back to that. VD 1987, another regular. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Is there a breakdown on which flank we can see our goals from? Oh, I've got the stats here. Our right flank is major weak point in our defence. Huge fan.
That's a
of your
great
content.
question.
I have my laptop here, as you can probably see. Let me see if I can check.
I don't know if they do.
It
a
won't
stat
do
for
it. It
that.
won't be a stat.
But
I'll check the heat map.
Do you know what? I'm writing this down now on my phone.
James will find it. He is that guy.
I'll break down every goal we've conceded in the Premier League,
Go on, James.
and I'll see if there's a pattern.
Tell them. What time do they score?
Because I think that is a great point.
I'm on the heat map now. They did attack the right side heavily. Obviously, James will get the tight statistics on it, but I can't even show you. Oh, I can. Can I show you? Oh, the lighting's gonna be terrible. Sorry, guys. But basically, Dundalk's. I know this is not for this. I mean, it's Europa League, but they heavily dominated down the right side compared to the left side of the game yesterday. We heavily went down the left side, which we always do.
Yeah,
which we always do. It's kind of even-ish. But
I'll say it's even
it's
enough.
more the left, but then if you look at Dundalk, they are definitely right side heavy. So good question.
I'll look into that. I think that'll be fascinating to see if there's a side that A, see where teams are attacking us more, but B, see if it's actually leading to goals. James, why you rate Pepe?
Oh, why you rate? I thought you said why don't you rate? Oh,
wow. Des, I don't know you've been watching our show. I rate him for talent. I don't think he's doing enough personally.
Pepe
But
is
that's
good.
okay.
Right. So what are we gonna?
Yeah, let's go into it. So
Oh.
thank you, Radhi Teja. What is your opinion on Eddie versus Balogun? I prefer Ballo. Now, just a quick one. There's another super chat here. Yeah.
Thank you, Nero. Balogun for over Sunday. How long you give? Wow.
Right.
Wow. Right.
So
Let's get into it.
Arteta said that he was asked obviously about this contract situation with Balogun, and he said Balogun's basically said he wants to stay. So they're going to sort out the nuts and bolts of it. I think he'll stay. I think he's the profile of striker that Arteta really likes. So I think there's a chance he's got a really good future at the club. Who do I prefer? I'll be honest, we'll answer the question because it's on all our minds. And we've all discussed it here in the office, should Balogun be getting more minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair to compare the two? We've seen Balogun play a couple Europa League games, score a couple goals. He's looked good. Whereas we've seen Nketiah actually do jobs for us in cup games, playing in front of the crowds, score a winner in the Premier League, score goals for the under-21s, and he's not really had a decent run. But also, on the same stage as Balogun, he's also still scoring goals. So are we being harsh on Eddie? By suggesting that Balogun has to be on the bench?
Being on the bench? He has to be on the bench. What? Oh, he has to, right now.
For the
Listen.
Premier League?
Yeah, he has to be on the bench.
But if he's on the bench and Nketiah's probably not.
Agreed. But then sometimes, right, football is the harshest industry there is. I'm sorry, it's cutthroat like that. And when you're not performing, we're in a points and performance business. Like, that is what it is. So if you're not firing, and people are going to argue and say, yeah, but he scored. Yeah, but he did affect the game. Balogun's come on now twice in Europa League games and scored within his first like 3-4 touches.
And there's 2 goals and assists in about 60 minutes of football, I think it is.
Like those stats, you can't argue with. You can't. And yes, you can say opposition, but then it's like we'll give him a chance with the Premier League. Like I've been in a position where a first year when I was signed was playing better than me. I was dropped, and then I wasn't also above the main start as a striker. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It does. It's painful, but it makes you raise your game. You can't just be there expecting to be on the bench every week when there's someone. He can feel the pressure. Eddie will know. He'll feel the pressure. You can't just sit there and think it doesn't matter. I'm still going to be involved. At the end of the day, if you're not firing, you're not firing. Go do what you did before. Go on loan and enjoy your football.
I think people would argue. I'm sorry, playing devil's advocate here.
Go on.
I'll play Robbie here. You know, a lot of people argue that he is firing. I mean, actually, not argue. He's scoring goals when he plays. For England under 21s and in the Europa League when he's getting his starts, he's scoring goals.
Okay. Fair argument. Now let me counter that with Arteta's style of play. Would you say it is for Eddie? He's a fox in a box. He's like post goals in. He's a poacher. Yeah. Now the way Balogun plays, I think he presses harder. Mm-hmm. I think he works harder for the team. I think he's stronger on the ball. That's
subjective. The whole he works harder. He comes on for like 30 minutes. Of course, he's going to run around.
Okay, yeah, this is good. No, you can keep bringing it back, but this is I agree. Okay, that's a fair argument. However, from what I see, he presses better than Nketiah. Mm-hmm. He's definitely stronger in my opinion. I think he protects the ball a lot better. He's more dynamic on the ball. Do you agree?
He does look stronger. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll let you land.
Yeah, okay. But all my argument here for this is he deserves an opportunity to be on the bench and having a feature in the first team on the weekend. We're playing Burnley. Yeah. I mean, I know we should fear every opposition in the current state we're in. However, Nketiah can't be angry at Arteta's decision by putting Balogun on the bench this Sunday. I don't think he can, and him being dropped for 1 week. Yeah, I don't think, like, as a player, how can you argue with that? I wouldn't argue with that. I'd be like, okay, fair. I'll be annoyed because I've scored and I'm not on the bench, but so is he. He scored and assisted in the little time he's had. He's had less time on the pitch. If Balogun comes on Sunday and has a great performance, what can you say as a Eddie? What can you say? If I was Eddie, what can you say? Eddie's had plenty of opportunities to come on, and he hasn't changed the game in the Premier League. Mm-hmm. If Balogun changes the game on Sunday or has a good effect, there's no argument there. Yeah,
I hear all that. Where I defend Eddie massively is...
are you playing devil's advocate, or do you actually genuinely believe...
A bit of both. No, I'll say what I genuinely... Like, I've actually not said anything I don't really mean or I don't think is worth considering. This I genuinely believe here now. Mm-hmm. Nketiah is never going to do well when he comes on because the strikers who are actually starting the games aren't doing well either. Mm-hmm. Lacazette's not been at it. Aubameyang's not been at it. Mm-hmm. What do we realistically expect Nketiah to do? He's very young. He's very raw. He is absolutely, completely, utterly forgivable for coming on and not really making, a massive...
Dead fox in the box. That's a roadkill.
He's absolutely forgiven for not having an impact necessarily when he comes on. However, I hate comparing the two. They're both young. They'll both be feeling the pressure of one another. I'm sure they're good friends. I'm sure that it's all, but I'm just saying that.
And we haven't seen loads of Balogun, so it's hard.
They'll be put a lot of pressure on each other. But I'll put Aziz into this as well. When I look at Aziz and Balogun, I know what I'm judging them off. I know I'm judging them off a couple Europa League. Aziz, I'm judging off 10 minutes. When you see players and you're like, you look like you got it. And I don't mean quality. I mean, you come in, when you want a youngster to be ready, they look physically. If that team was out and no one told you that they were youngsters, you wouldn't have thought they were youngsters. Mm. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm. They looked ready. They looked composed. They're doing things that scream to me intelligent, mature footballers.
There's many players that have been that though, James, and they've flopped like young. I hear what you're saying though. Yeah. But I'm being devil's advocate here as well. Like some players
absolutely
have professionalism, but they
absolutely. Balogun attributes wise, I loved his finishes. Yeah. I thought they were very instinctive, a real striker, just in the box, turn and hit, or pull out wide, make that space, hit, bottom far corner. He's looked very good in that situation. I do think, and he does look a bit bigger. He looks like he's got more about him. I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing. I'm saying for Arteta clearly wants in a striker, Balogun maybe looks more the profile. Aziz, for what we want as a midfielder, also looks more the profile. Well, if they're not ready, they're not ready. Arteta will know that better than anyone else.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the celebration as well? Of obviously, Balogun was very minimal compared to Lacazette.
No, don't.
Sorry, yesterday watching the game, James was...
No. You're going to get me clipped up, and you're going to get me hated
be like,
on.
you can't say that means nothing. But in a sense, it's small sense. It's small detail. I'm not going to bring up too much.
Yeah.
Obviously, Eddie Nketiah also does the...
Well, we may as well talk about it now. Very quickly, I made the point that when Balogun scored, he's a youngster, he's come through the academy, and I just thought his celebration was like cool as ice. He was just like.
But you know what that shows? I'm
cool.
gonna be. People are gonna. It's not. This is not a statistical thing. And if I'm honest, it doesn't really make sense. But like him not celebrating overly incredible, like over the top, shows it's normal. It's natural for me. He's hungry for more goals.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It gave me that impression.
Yeah, not always the case, but.
Yeah,
I know you when you said that. I was laughing. I was like,
what I did in a very jokingly way was compare it to when Lacazette scored last week and there was the knee slide. But I was joking. But that's not comparable because obviously we had the fans back. It was a very good goal. I hate you. Lacazette needed the confidence. As I said, fans back, great strike. So there was lots of reasons, and I'm really glad Lacazette enjoyed that moment. I was just making a joke. It wasn't. I hate you. I actually hate you.
No, you don't. We're best buds.
Do you know they're gonna come at me. You have a Lacazette agenda. I love Lacazette. Anyway,
all right.
Let's move on.
Should we look to sell Lacazette? Oh, on a Lacazette.
Oh,
thank you, Oliver. Should we sell Lacazette to strengthen other areas of the squad, and Balogun can be the sub or start for hold up play, and he can finish?
I don't think you sell Lacazette without getting in a replacement. We can't suddenly go Balogun's, unless Aubameyang's going to be our first choice, and you're saying, well, Balogun and Nketiah are a decent backup, maybe. But I think you've got to get another striker. What else have we got here?
I don't think getting rid of Lacazette's the right idea either. This is a fair argument from Randy right now.
We can't know.
But right now, you'd say
we can't know.
Oh, he hasn't.
How can we know
in the Premier League? Yeah, we don't.
How
know.
can we put?
But
it's an opinion, and I think it's a justified opinion. But I don't think we can know for sure. Personally,
it's opinion based because we would want to see from what we see. We think Balogun is definitely a better impact player. So, but we don't know yet until he plays in the Premier League. Praveen, yeah. Yep. Eddie is under 21's top scorer, captain, our current top scorer, but he isn't in the talks with Saka. Fair, true. Greenwood, Foden is because not that technically gifted. I read that very, very poorly, but he isn't in the talks with Saka, Greenwood, Foden is because he is not technically gifted. That's a tough one. I'm trying to think of strikers that aren't technically gifted, but they just have absolute.
I'm starting to feel really sorry for Eddie. He scored. He played all right yesterday. He scored a very good goal. Why is there this negativity that surrounds him? And it is fueled by how well Balogun's doing, but also the fact that Balogun's not getting minutes. If Balogun was getting minutes, no one would be worrying about Eddie Nketiah. He's scoring in the Europa League when he's being asked to play. Look, big up to you, Eddie. Keep doing your thing. That's what he's very good at, is understanding where the ball's going to go. And do you know what I mean? He understands.
Yeah, he's a fox in the box.
He's a fox in the box.
He's definitely a poacher in that, and that's. And if anything, it's a good trait to have.
Yeah,
many strikers
we need both of
that.
them. We need both of them to develop. It's not a case of which one do you prefer? We need both of them to develop. We need young strikers who are core of this team, that like the blood of our academy, and come up and actually do you know what I mean? James in the mud again.
I like that. Do you think Eddie Nketiah and Lacazette are similar?
I think they've been asked to do similar things. No, I don't. I think Lacazette's better at dropping deep, and he's got a little bit more natural skill, whereas I think Eddie is probably a little bit better at knowing where the balls are going to be in the box, that sort of thing. Yeah,
because the only reason why I asked that is because there was comparisons a few weeks ago, but then now, like you said, they're doing two different roles. Lacazette's definitely the dropping deep, and Arteta did say in his press conference, Eddie is a number 9. He's a natural number 9. He's happy for Lacazette to drop in and bring in players. But I was just asking you that question because when Lacazette comes off for Eddie, I wonder, do the defenders feel like, is it a new challenge for them? In a sense, but I don't think. No,
I think the way we play, I think Eddie will be asked to be doing the same thing, and I think that's to the detriment of Eddie. I think that is partly why he might be struggling at times. Oh,
Nice London Gamer. Thank you for your super chat. It says Eddie should be loaned out.
yeah, he needs a good Premier League
More
loan.
game time.
He needs a good Premier League loan, and there are clubs that would take him.
Yeah, I could see him at Brighton. I could see him at Brighton.
Not just saying, I do think he's a good player, Eddie. I do. Why am I talking so much about Eddie? I feel bad, man.
So I can't lie. So do I a little bit, because I know he's probably thinking, bro, what's this agenda? But like, I'm doing my job, and because that's how I used to think as a striker. If I play bad but I score, I'm still doing my job. And that sounds mad. That's how a lot of strikers.
It's because the fan base will put Balogun in. It's as we said, and we really need to clear this up now, actually, because I want to make sure we say this right.
Go on.
For Balogun to get minutes and be recognised in the first team, he either needs to start, and that's unlikely to happen with Aubameyang, or be on the bench. But if he's going to be on the bench, who misses out? Nketiah.
Yeah, and he has to come. Balogun has to come on.
Right, and that is exactly why the comparison's made. I really don't like it. I'm not sure. I genuinely don't like it.
Yeah, it's unfair. It's unfair.
But it's like a forced upon you debate, if that makes sense, because Balogun's doing well, and you got to think, well, we want to give him game time, but there's context to that, and the context is Eddie's there as well.
And I think because our strikers aren't firing across the board, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Eddie, like as in winning the games for us, that's another argument. That's why everyone's eyes are on Balogun, because he's coming in and change everything up. Oliver says Balogun was born in New York, and it will be increasingly difficult to cap for England. Should he play for the US with young talent like Pulisic, McKennie, Dest, Gio, Renner, etc.? USA quietly getting better.
They are getting very good, actually. Some of the players they've produced. I mean, these listed them there, they look superb. That's for their Balogun as well.
Yeah, I think the competition for striking spots for England is very difficult. I mean, I think, can you play for like England under? I don't know if you can play under 21s, under 23s, then go to
who's been
first
representing.
team USA.
I'll have a little look, see who's been representing. Actually,
it's a great question. Yeah, I don't know what else that. A pre-match human race jersey every 2 days. You're being sponsored by the club. This is where the pre-match human race jersey, the pre-match and human race jersey every 2 days. So you're being sponsored by the club. But I have been sponsored by the club. Let me tell you that. Listen, they need to sponsor me.
Balogun's played England under 17s, United States under 18s, England under 18s, England under 20s. I'm not sure the reliability of the source, but well.
Okay, yeah, we're running.
He's got decisions.
Running over time. Read this. What about this question here?
Martinelli's also a striker, by the way, and he's better than both. It's a great shout.
We forget. We've got quite a lot of attacking options.
Jumai, thank you very much. That is a very good point. I hadn't even thought about it. I'm not that he's better than both. I'm just saying you're right. He's a great talent. That's a potential striking option.
Sammy says Balogun should play for Nigeria, his home. Saka's honestly laughable. But I know what's going on in the comments.
Why do we hate on our youngsters so much? We need good youngsters. We need them to do well. Big up the hairline boys.
We're forgetting about Martinelli. We did actually forget. We have forgotten about him, but until we can't put him into the mix yet until he's fit and he's back in the squad. Do you know what I mean? James, do you have any updates on Szoboszlai?
According to Sky Germany, he's going to make a decision in imminently, like within the next week. And we spoke about David Ornstein. Go check out our update a few days ago on Aouar and Szoboszlai and Buendia. Yeah, and a decision is coming very soon as to who he's joining.
Okay, I'm going to take two more. We've got a super. Have I read this super chat? I have. I'm going to take one more comment because I like Mossy Boy. I like this question. I like this comment because this is also being discussed in the office as well. Don Robbie speaks to us all the time. Big up, guys. To be honest, Eddie is not a striker that can take us to the next level. We need to be real about this. If a team like Man City bring on Aguero and we're bringing on Eddie, think about it. Now, this was the debate with Robbie. He's like, if we look at everyone's squad depth, other teams' squad depth, they're making substitutions that can change the game. We're bringing on Eddie and Nketiah. And I know it sounds really harsh. I don't want this show to just be bashing Eddie and Nketiah. I know it feels bad, but they are like I mean, it's difficult. Man United obviously bring on like the likes of Cavani, even Martial's and Rashford's in their subs to affect the game. Chelsea, they got striking options as well that can change the game. I know these are the top four, so it's a difficult comparison, but they're right. I think he's right. Do you agree? Sorry, I know you. Okay, you don't want to be any hard. All right, we'll leave the.
It's not. I don't want to be harsh. It's that we've spoken a lot about. I think we've spoken too much about him.
Okay, fair.
He's a good young striker who's struggling in a crap team. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
we're really bad.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell. On that, I just want to give. I think Balogun deserves opportunities to play in the Premier League. Once that's happened, then the comparisons can start to be more realistic. That's what I'm going to leave it on that. And Anwesh says, last super chat before we go, should Hector play at midfield like RCM? He is very attacking minded. Like he can pick some intelligent pass and can link up. Nope.
I'm not.
What do you think about that? No, I don't know about you, James. Thoughts?
Anwesh Mishra, I understand actually the concept of having Bellerin higher up the pitch, whether it's like if you have to play him, yeah, maybe as a right winger or something because he's very good at making those runs. But I'm not sure he's suited to that person.
Yeah, I know at times he creates one good opportunity normally a game, but unfortunately, I don't think that'll be the right decision. He relied on his pace. Now I don't think he's as far. Oh, he's not as fast than
he's had
players he plays with. Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. But on that note, guys watching, thank you for tuning into the AFTV Daily News Show. Now, tonight at 6 p.m. on Instagram, we'll be doing the quiz, giving away an UTB t-shirt or jumper or anything from UTB website, one item. So make sure you get involved in that. Join us on Instagram Live. Always a bit of fun, always a bit of banter. It's nice to connect and get you guys thoughts as well of Arsenal whilst doing a quiz and learning. Like I said, it's education for the nation. It's not just fun. We're learning as well. There's always some good questions within the quiz. So make sure you tune into that. And again, we have a live at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
It's either going to be myself and James or,
show,
or Don Robbie, but make sure you tune into that. Thank you for watching. Have a great Friday and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care.
Heads! This week's challenge is the two-touch challenge. To the left of me, we have the fan. You nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
And to the right of me, we have the influencers. And they're going up against me, the host.
We're going again, yeah?
So how'd you feel?